Please go get one. It is the Tuesday after the weekend of TFNation. I am feeling a bit more like myself again. You might be able to tell that my voice is just a little bit strained. I can't really reach my upper register right now because partly on the way up on the Friday, I was screaming Spectre General. But it was a really, really good weekend. I really enjoyed myself. I didn't get to see as many panels as I normally do or would have maybe wanted to, because I spent so much time either in the trading hall looking for robots, with my mates in the bar or at Resorts World, or in my room trying to just decompress for a little bit because I was so exhausted from the travel and all the moving about between the rooms. I think this year was definitely a lot more focused on the social aspect with my mates. I was hanging out with a bunch of the Crosshairs crew and TFNation crew. We kind of became this clump of about 10 people, and it was really nice. We all kind of like went off and did our own separate things during the daytime, and then we would occasionally kind of reconvene, like go out for a meal and then come back and then split off again. But it was nice having that crowd to gravitate towards, and we'd occasionally bump into each other in the trader hall and kind of show off what we picked up. I think my favourite memory though from this year was me and a couple other people taking some G1 throttle bots down to a corridor near the bar and just racing them across the floor. What are you doing? We were such a bunch of kids doing that. I really had the best time with this silly little game. The film, Shatter of Glass premiered on the Saturday morning. It was put forward as alternative to queuing for the trader hall on the Saturday morning. I saw the queue for the trader hall on both days. I didn't queue for either of those, but I saw them. They stretched halfway along the hotel, like from the doors all the way back to the bar. It was incredibly long. I've never seen it like that before. That was insane to witness. We had a crowd, I want to say over 200 in the auditorium. It looked to be at least half capacity, but it was amazing, and it was scary, and it was exciting, and it was all of those emotions bundled up together. We had lots of people come over and talk about the film and say how much they enjoyed it, but we've never done anything like this, where we've presented just a full film in front of a live audience. You don't know what the reaction is going to be like. You don't know what is going to get a laugh, whether people are going to react in any way. But there were laughs. There were laughs from all across the hall. There was even a smattering of applause at one point. And I'll probably talk about which particular scene that happened in when the film is out proper. But it was so exciting and such a joy to hear those reactions from the audience. At one point I started tearing up a little bit too. David Wallace came over like once or twice, just kind of like exchanged a look and was like, this is incredible. Look at how many people have come to see this. Amazing to hear all those reactions, and the amount of people who came over either immediately after the film or during the weekend to say that they really enjoyed it, or they were, because they couldn't see the premiere that day, they were looking forward to seeing it on YouTube in a few weeks. It was amazing. I never ever take those interactions for granted, and I'm always surprised at how many people actually recognise me at these things. Rather than like name literally everyone who I was hanging out with or that I bumped into or came to visit, I'm just going to say, if we had any kind of interaction during the weekend, came to say hi, say anything about the film, say anything about the stuff that we do, chat with me, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And to the people that I was hanging out with my group, my posse, I love you guys dearly. Being with you all really was the highlight of the weekend. Let's talk guests. There was Michael Charles Hill, who was a writer on a couple of episodes of the G1 cartoon, Kat Kavari, who's the voice of Twitch in Earthspark, Greg Berger, who needs no introduction, and David Kay, who likewise needs no introduction. I realised on the Saturday that I was running out of time to meet guests and various other people. I didn't get to see any of the artists and writers. Alex Milne as well, I forgot to go and see Alex Milne. I didn't even see Alex Milne. I know he was there, I did not see him at all. I really wanted to get like a sketch card or something like that. So Sunday became priority to see whichever guests I could. And what I really, really wanted to do was to see David Kay. Now, cast your mind back to 2011. That was my first Transformers convention with Auto Assembly. David Kay and Greg Berger were guests. I didn't look all that different to what I do right now, except I didn't have a beard because I was like 12, 13, something like that. 13 years on, they're both guests at the Transformers Con. I had to try and see them both. I really wanted to get another photo with David Kay. So I spent about 20 minutes or so queuing for David. Had a really lovely chat with him, showed him this photo which we'd taken back 13 years ago. I don't know if he recognised it, and I would have been very surprised if he actually did, but he was more than happy to sign a couple things for me, recreate the photo, and it was just a lovely, lovely man. He really, really was. Very grateful for the opportunity to meet him, or should I say meet him again. Spoke to Kat Kavari, which was really nice. She was so, so lovely. I managed to catch her when the queue for her line was practically non-existent, and we spoke a little bit about Earthspark and how much I really enjoyed the show and how much I love Twitch. I didn't go and see Michael Charles Hill, but I did try and queue for Greg Berger. Unfortunately, I did not have the time to do it. I went to his panel, which was next to RoboSen, with about 40 minutes left of the trader hall being open, and they capped the line. Maybe next time. Hopefully there is a next time. To be honest, I'm not too broken up about not meeting Greg Berger. I don't have the biggest connection to his G1 characters. I have more of a connection really to the Force Cybertron version of the character, but it's not a slight against him. It's just if I had gone to him, I would probably just exchanged a few niceties, asked for an autograph, and been on my way. And I don't think it would have really had any special sort of meaning for me. But if the length of the queue was anything to go by, then there were plenty of people who had plenty of praise and appreciation to shower him in, so I don't think he was left wanting after all that. I didn't get to see James Roberts, Nick Roche, Alex Milne. I'm gutted that I didn't get to see him. I did run into Jack Lawrence in the bathroom at the end of the weekend though. He actually recognised me, and like I said, I always am quite surprised when, especially guests, do that when they recognise me. But we just exchanged a few quick words just to say hi and say like, "Are you doing good?" So maybe next time, maybe next year, I'll pop by his table. I didn't get commission from him this time, but next year I'll try and get over there a bit earlier and say hi and get one of those lovely hugs. Okie dokie. Let's talk merch, art, memorabilia, miscellaneous things. On the past few years, I've been invited to contribute to this, the RR Co zine, which is put together by our good friend Ben Watson. In this, if you're not already familiar, we've got a bunch of people who contribute these kind of Dreamwave style character profiles of toys that we really like. It was a slightly smaller affair than previous years just because people had various commitments and they weren't able to contribute. I did Classics Ultra Magnus, who coincidentally enough is placed right next to a Tread Shot, which is really fun. I think there's a few more print copies of this available, especially for overseas people, but if you can't get a hold of one of those, and I think Ben usually does a digital upload of these on the blog as well, so keep an eye out for that. I still haven't had a proper opportunity to read everyone's contributions in this, but I will get round to that soon. Stopped by Jim Stafford in the Forge. I think it was his first time tabling at TFNation. I could be wrong on that, but I've been following his artwork on what's left of Twitter for a little while now. Really love his stuff. And I picked up 2 prints. We had a really lovely chat actually about his work for Skybound and like how he was finding the convention. I came away with 2 really lovely prints. So this one here is obviously Jazz, which is his I think this is a G1 tech spec quote, but I looked at this and thought, I've not got any jazz artwork, and I do like jazz. This gave the vibes of like a motivational poster. So I think this is coming with me back to my uni accommodation. And it's going to hang above my bed so that when I wake up in the morning, I know that I should do it with style or not bother at all. And the other print I got from him was this. Now this was an initial pass at an alternate Skybound cover that he did. He did have the finalised version available, which was a kind of purplish blue background and Astro Train up in the corner here. And while I kind of agree that that one worked for the comic cover, I like this one a lot more. I just thought this was really beautiful. I've really been enjoying the Skybound run on Transformers. Really nice that. I stopped by Pixel Formers, which was one of the other Forge artists. I can't remember when this was, but I saw that they were selling these really nice pixel art style Skybike coasters, and had to have one of these. Do I need to expand on why? Now last year I picked up a piece of art and some stickers from Ryan Button. And I went back over to his stall for a number of reasons this weekend. Firstly, because he's a really, really lovely man. Always happy to just chat for a little bit and talk about how the con was going, and also just like talked a bit about Doctor Who as well at some point. But I got 3 things off his stand. First thing I got, along with some stickers, was this, his Legacies art book. Now this is a collection of his art, which is modern toys rendered in the classic Generation 1 toy like art styling. I got the Optimus from him last year. I wanted to have them all, but this is a really nice cost-effective way for me to have a lot of his prints. I love this one especially, this double-page spread of Shockwave and the Insecticons fighting the Dinobots. I just love how it's rendered out in that classic 80s style. It's a really, really beautiful book, this. There was this print as well of the 3 forms of Beast Wars Megatron, which I bought to get David Kay to sign, which he did very graciously. I watched Beast Wars all the way through properly last year, I think it was, and I finally got an appreciation for Beast Megatron as a villain, and he's great. And the last thing, or rather the first thing that I picked up from Ryan, was something very special. I commissioned him a couple months before the convention for a very special piece, and I'd seen the digital version. He'd sent that over to me, but he also did an A3 version printed of this. This is, if you couldn't tell, the full Shatter of Glass cast from the film. I really wanted to have something to commemorate the premiere at the convention, and Ryan gave me an incredible price considering the level of detail. He was really great in giving me kind of like updates on the progress of it. It was really nice to hear as well that he enjoyed doing this too, because it was something very different to previous artwork efforts on his part, and it's absolutely beautiful. It is gorgeous. Thank you so much, Ryan. I'll put a link to his socials in the description below so you can see the stuff that he's doing. And the last non-toy thing that I bought was from my good friend Barry Shaw. He and I, both really very good friends of Peter Spellos, always try to stop by his stand when I can to say hi. Sublime salesman that he is. He sold me this 3D printed analog clock. And what is brilliant about this is that the second hand is the Arc, and as it moves around, it's flying over the surface of Cybertron. This was £15, and I absolutely adore this. This is another thing that's going in my uni accommodation. Unfortunately, I forgot to pick up the stand that this will sit on at the end of the Sunday, so he's sending that over to me in the next couple of days. I love the amount of detail that's on there. It's absolutely beautiful. Very happy to have this very unique piece as part of my collection of stuff. Thank you very much, Barry. And the very last thing that I was gifted was a 3D printed Rodimus star by a chap called Harry. He gave this to me, I think it was just before the closing ceremony, and I think it was intended for someone else as part of like a cosplay or something like that. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he gifted this to me, partly as a thanks, I think, for the film, and as a kind of like well done, good job sort of thing. But yeah, really nice that. Thank you very much, Harry. Almost there. Now it's toy time. As has now become custom, I did get a couple of robots to tinker with for the Friday before the trader hall opened the following day. I ended up finding one of the figures that I really wanted to find at TFNation on eBay as part of a bundle, and it was £35 for this bundle of about 6-7 figures, and I figured it was worth it. So the main thing that I wanted was this. This is Universe 03 Ultra Magnus. This is a repaint of the Armada bendy Optimus Prime, I think it's Supercon, I think it is. I've really been enjoying a bit of a phase of Ultra Magnus toys, but just like the core white Optimus version. This is the latest one after getting the Classics one, which I wrote about in the RRCO zine, the Blockies version. This one I really wanted to have. However, I discovered on the Friday that the sleeve pieces here had been misassembled in the factory, so they were the wrong way round, and in the process of trying to get them back the right way, the locking tabs inside were broken, so he's got very floppy sleeves right now. I am trying my best to fix them, but it's going to take a while because of just how well put together this thing is. It did unfortunately mar my enjoyment of the toy a little bit, and I didn't really take him out that much over the weekend, which is a shame. I hope that at some point I will be able to enjoy him properly with functioning arms. He did also have his little mini-con, but he's missing a ton of bits, and he's seen better days. A couple of the things that were in that bundle either went to Matt at the 360 verse or went to Toy Fu, but I ended up keeping a few things because I ended up a little bit enamored with them actually. So I've also got G1, Wild Rider and Dead End. The stickers on these are a bit naff, but I really like them actually. They're just so easy to flip into their car modes. Dead End in particular has got some fun engineering going on here with the flipping round the leg. But it's that simple. The temptation was there to try and find a full set of Stunticons and make a Menasor. I didn't go for it. I didn't allow myself to do that. I've got a Devastator coming soon anyway. And then there was Alternator's Silver Streak. Last year I picked up the Shock Blast figure from the Alternators line, and I adored that, and I felt like getting another one at some point. I wasn't thinking about this guy in particular, but considering how cheap he was within the context of the bundle, I decided I'll take him along, have a fiddle with him over the weekend, and if I decide that I don't actually like him, then you can go to Toy Fu, and I don't feel like I've made a massive loss. But no, he's good. He's really good. He's about the same level of engineering as Shock Blast was. Car mode is absolutely beautiful. He's just really nice and chunky. I love how massive his hands are as well. Those are some massive grippers. He's a beautiful thing, and he's in really good nick too. Saturday comes along, and one of the first things that is thrust into my hand, we have the film. The Trader Hall line is gone, and I think probably a lot of the good stuff in the hall as well, because I didn't find much off my want list. Before I even get into the Trader Hall, one of the first things that is thrust into my hand is this custom painted Shatter of Glass tread shots in Cybertron mode. I can't remember the name of the fella who gave this to me, but he passed it over to me at the end of the Shatter Glass premiere, which is a very generous gift of him, so thank you very much, my friend. And then I'm in the Trader Hall for no more than a minute, and James Lanigan gives me a Thrilling 30 Rhinox, and this was on my want list, and I'm very happy to have that. His ears wiggle, that's really cool. I realised recently that I actually had quite a few of the Beast Wars Season 1 cast in toy form. I really like Rhinox in the cartoon, and I wanted to get one. And there we go. I really like the aesthetics on this one. I love how broad-shouldered he is. I think it's just a bit more exciting than the Kingdom one. I think Kingdom's just a bit sauceless. But this is really nice. Another freebie I ended up with, actually, and I think this might have been the Friday, but Joe Valk, who was part of our Infinisun gang, was giving away some free bots. Just had like a kind of lucky dip draw bag. I initially pulled out a movie Brawl, but I've already got that one. So I traded with someone, I think it might have been Keej, for Energon Sledge. I think this is Sledge. I quite like the Energon combiners. I know that they're a bit crap. I love him. He's just a little goon. He's just a little guy. Look at this little guy gooning. I keep forgetting that I was given more stuff on the Friday. These two were from Matt at the 360verse. These were some custom figures that he made for some people. Made quite a few of them actually, but this guy is a repaint of Beast Wars Iguanus, and this is Rainstick, and this is a repaint of one of the Beast Battle Masters from Rise of the Beasts, and this little happy chappy is called Pendulum. Matt does a lot of his custom work nowadays with like plastic dies, and he's done a superb job with these. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Matt, for those. I found me a movie barricade for $5. I can't remember which store it was. It might have been in demand, but he's in pretty good nick. I sold my Recon one years ago. I missed Barricade. It's such a good robot design. Found a Powerful Combiner's Undertow for £8. This was from In Demand. Very few robots out there which have a hydrofoil or hovercraft mode. It's such a unique alt mode for a robot to have, so I was quite keen to get my hands on this fella. Just realised how quickly I've got through the Friday and Saturday box, because I think this was my last purchase. This is Mastermind Creations Silicus, or Voss from the DJD. This was a purchase from Toy Fu, who again broke some incredible records from their sales at TFNation. But it was 60 quid, and I was really struggling to find stuff that was on my wish list, but I already have technically three DJD members from MMC, and I figured that was as good an opportunity as any to add probably the most accessible of their number to the fold. So Voss, I think that this was another Saturday find, but this was another freebie from Matt, because he had one of these. It's a very long story that I'm not going to try and recount, but this is Beast Wars Big Moz. I've yet to transform him, but I think he turns into some kind of like big mosquito, hence the name. This is such a weird but strangely beautiful toy. I can't remember the last time I saw a Transformer which had seafoam green as part of its colour scheme. His wings sort of flap at the back there. This is a horrifying thing. I've heard that the seafoam green plastic can be quite brittle, so I'm not going to be too rough with this. But what a weird looking guy. Another freebie from Matt, because he didn't really want it, but he gave this to me on the Saturday evening. Energon Strongarm, I believe this is, which is a mold that I've never handled. It's quite fun, it's quite cute. Not really played with it all that much, but who am I to say no to free stuff? So now we get to Sunday, and I was really struggling to find anything that was on my want list. I really was. I think overall that gave me a lot more liberty in picking out stuff that maybe I would have just passed over if I had found those things. Went over to Leicester Vintage, who had a little stall at the convention, and if you follow me on my socials, you'll know that I've been there once or twice and I've really enjoyed my visits there. I've got a handful of Minicons and Micromasters from Siege. This is Armada Backtrack, I think, who turns into a little Chrysler. Siege, Red Heat, Stakeout, and Swindler. And Swindler caught my attention because he's a DeLorean, and who doesn't love a DeLorean? Apart from the people who own them. I stopped by, I believe it's Primetime Toys, who had a stall near to the entrance of the trader hall, and they were dealing a lot with kind of third and fourth party stuff. I've obviously dabbled with third party, but fourth party, not all that much. Fourth party is really just a fancy way of saying knockoff. But I saw this for £40. I'd seen one of my group, I think it was Jack, who had bought one of these, and I really wanted to give it a try, because one of my biggest gripes with this figure is that it didn't have a bicep rotation. So I got APC Wonder Warrior, I think his name is, but this is Wheeljack from Transformers Prime with additional swords, a bicep swivel, so he can actually, you know, turn them in and pose a bit better with his swords, an alternate head sculpt, in fact 2 alternate head sculpts, and also a grenade and some arm cannons as well. All that for £40. It feels about the same quality as the original. I found myself tinkering with this a lot, and have been since coming back from Birmingham. It's a really nice toy. We continue with the fourth party theme. I was on the lookout, having found Rhinox for a Kingdom Primal. Couldn't find one anywhere which was complete and for a decent price. And I stopped by a stall run by a chap called Rohan, which I think a lot of the UK community will be familiar with, and spotted this. This is an oversized knockoff of Kingdom Primal. It has die-cast. It has some incredible paint apps on there. You might not be able to see in this light, but the fur is dry brushed. It came with 2 swords, which have metallic blue paint, like the head. There is an alternate faceplate with the battle mask, and it's got that nice metallic blue finish on it, and a mace with an actual chain on it. I don't actually know if this will come apart. I've not tried yet. It's out of scale with the rest of the art crew. It is prone to a bit of paint chipping. All of this for £30. It's a really beautiful thing. I don't know if it's going to be long for my collection, because I'd rather have a primal that's in scale with the rest of the crew, but it's a stunning thing. At the very least, I'm glad to have an opportunity to just kind of experiment with it a little bit and just see how it is. We get to the final literally minutes of the trader hall being open, and I've still got a couple quid left in my wallet, which I feel like I absolutely need to spend, because why would I save money? But I go over to G-Works' stand. This is Mike, who I've met at a few previous conventions. Been a lovely guy. I bought quite a few things off him, but he does a lot of kind of 3D printed and resin cast upgrades for figures, as well as being a stockist for non-F upgrades. Earlier, I think it was the Saturday, I picked up a set of his upgrade wings for Legacy Windsweeper, which is coming into me soon. I went back over to his stand and picked up a Power Core Combiners Stakeout and a Dark of the Moon Cyberverse Commander Optimus Prime. Both really fun little things in their own right. It's been a while since I've had any kind of movie Optimus representation, like from the Bayformers, but this is a very nice little pocket Optimus. Pocketmus? Oh, we reached the end finally. Why do these things have to take so much time to put together? Finally, I can start putting these bloody things on the shelves. I'll wrap up quick. It was a really good convention. Lots of love to everyone that I was hanging out with. Massive thank yous to everyone who came to say hi and saw the film and supported us there. Massive thanks to the TFNation crew for allowing us the opportunity to present our film as part of the Saturday entertainment. I think we'll do this again in 2025. I don't see why not. Not like I've got an excuse. Next time you see me, I will probably be in my uni digs. I've got a plan for what's to come in terms of YouTube videos alongside my education. I will get into that at some point. I'm not going to do that right now, because I really need water, and there's another parcel arriving for me within the next 2 hours. I guess the next thing that's coming out is the Shatter of Glass film on YouTube. I hope that everyone's excited for that. It's going to be great. Right, I need water. Get out of it.